Exodus chapter 29 verse 1 to 46. Verse 1. This is what you have to do to consecrate them, so they may serve me as a priest. Take a young bull and 2 rams without defect. Verse 2. And from the finished wheat flour make round loaves without yeast. Take loaves without yeast and with olive oil mixed in, and 10 loaves without yeast and brushed with olive oil. Verse 3. Put them in a basket and present them along with the bull and the 2 rams. Verse 4. Then bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance to the tent of meeting and wash them with water. Verse 5. Take the garments and dress Aaron with a tunic, the robe of the ephod itself and the breastpiece. Fasten the ephod on him by its skillfully woven waistband. Verse 6. Put the turban on his head and attach the sacred emblem to the turban. Verse 7. Take the anointing oil and anoint him by pouring it on his head. Verse 8. Bring his sons and dress them in tunics. Verse 9. And fasten cups on them. Then tie sashes on Aaron's and his sons. The priesthood is there by a lasting ordinance. Then you shall ordain Aaron and his sons. Verse 10. Bring the bull to the front of the tent of meeting, and Aaron's and his sons shall lay their hands on its head. Verse 11. Slaughter it in the Lord's presence at the entrance to the tent of meeting. Verse 12. Take some of the bull's blood and put it on the horns of the altars with your finger, and pour out the rest of it at the base of the altar. Verse 13. Then take all the fat on the internal organs, the long lobe of the liver, and put kidneys with the fat on them, and burn them on the altar. Verse 14. But burn the bull's flesh and its hides and its intestines outside the camp. It is a sin offering. Verse 15. Take one of the rams, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on its head. Verse 16. Slaughter it and take the blood and flash it against the sides of the altar. Verse 17. Cut the ram into pieces and wash the internal organs and the legs, putting them with the head and the other pieces. Verse 18. Then burn the entire ram on the altar. It is a burnt offering to the Lord, a pleasing aroma, a food offering presented to the Lord. Verse 19. Take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on its head. Verse 20. Slaughter it. Take some of its blood and put it on the lobes of the right ears of Aaron and his sons, on the thumbs of their right hands, and on the big toes of their right feet. Then flash blood against the sides of the altar. Verse 21. And take some bloods from the altars and some of the anointing oil and sprinkle it on Aaron and his garments, and on his sons and their garments. Then he and his sons and their garments will be consecrated. Verse 22. Take from this ram the fat tail, the fat on the internal organs, the long lobe of the liver, both kidneys with the fat on them, and the right thigh. This is the ram for the ordination. Verse 23. From the basket of bread made without yeast, which is before the Lord, take 1 round loaf, 1 thick loaf with olive oil mixed in, and 1 thin loaf. Verse 24. Put all this in the hands of Aaron and his sons, and have them wave them before the Lord as a wave offering. Verse 25. Then take them from their hands and burn them on the altars along with the burnt offerings for a pleasing aroma to the Lord, a food offering presented to the Lord. Verse 26. After you take the breast of the rams for Aaron's ordination, wave it before the Lord as a wave offering, and it will be your share. Verse 27. Consecrate those parts of the ordination ram that belong to Aaron and his sons. the breast that was waved and the thigh that was presented. Verse 27, consecrate those parts of the ordination ram that belong to Aaron and his sons, the breast that was waved and the thigh that was presented. Verse 28, this is always to be the perpetual share from the Israelites for Aaron and his sons. It is the contributions the Israelites are to make to the Lord from their fellowship offerings. Verse 29, Aaron's sacred garments will belong to his descendants so that they can be anointed and ordained in them. Verse 30, the son who succeeds him as priest and comes to the tents of meetings to minister in the holy place is to wear them 7 days. Verse 31, take the ram for the ordinations and cook the meat in a sacred place. Verse 32, at the entrance to the tent of meeting, Aaron and his sons are to eat the meats of the rams and the bread that is in the basket. Verse 33, they are to eat these offerings by which atonement was made for their ordinations and consecration, but no one else may eat them, because they are sacred. Verse 34, and if any of the meat of the ordination ram or any bread is left over till morning, burn it up. It must not be eaten, because it is sacred. Verse 35, do for Aaron and his sons everything I have commanded you, taking 7 days to ordain them. Verse 36, sacrifice a bull each day as a sin offering to make atonement. Purify the altar by making atonement for it, and anoint it to consecrate it. Verse 37, for 7 days make atonement for the altar and consecrate it. Then the altar will be most holy, and whatever touches it will be holy. Verse 38, this is what you are to offer to the altar regularly each day, 2 lambs a year old. Verse 39, offer one in the morning and the other at twilight. Verse 40, with the first lamb offer a tenth of an ephah of the finished flour mixed with a quarter of a hin of oil from pressed olives, and a quarter of a hin of wine as a drink offering. Verse 41, sacrifice the other lamb at twilight with the same grains offering and its drink offerings as in the morning, a pleasing aroma, a food offering presented to the Lord. Verse 41, sacrifice the other lamb at twilight with the same grain offerings and its drink offering as in the morning, a pleasing aroma, a food offering presented to the Lord. Verse 42, for the generations to come, this burnt offering is to be made regularly at the entrance to the tent of meeting. Before the Lord, there I will meet you and speak to you. Verse 43, there also I will meet with the Israelites, and the place will be consecrated by my glory. Verse 44, so I will consecrate the tent of meetings and the altars, and will consecrate Aaron and his sons to serve me as a priest. Verse 45, then I will dwell among the Israelites and be their God. Verse 46, they will know that I am the Lord their God, who brought them out of Egypt so that I might dwell among them. I am the Lord their God. Exodus chapter 30, verse 1 to 38. Verse 1, make an altar of acacia wood for burning incense. Verse 2, it is to be square, a cubit long and a cubit wide, and 2 cubits high, its horns of one piece with it. Verse 3, overlay the top and all the sides and the horns with pure gold, and make a gold molding around it. Verse 4, make 2 gold rings for the altar below the molding, 2 on each of the opposite sides, to hold the poles used to carry it. Verse 5, make the poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. Verse 6, put the altar in front of the curtain that shields the ark of the covenant law. before the atonement cover that is over the tablets of the covenant law, where I will meet with you. Verse 7. Aaron must burn fragrant incense on the altar every morning when he tends the lamps. Verse 8. He must burn incense again when he lights the lamps at twilight, so incense will burn regularly before the Lord for the generations to come. Verse 9. Do not offer on this altar any other incense or any burnt offering or grain offering, and do not pour a drink offering on it. Verse 10. Once a year Aaron shall make atonement on its horns. This annual atonement must be made with the blood of the atoning sin offering for the generations to come. It is most holy to the Lord. Verse 11. Then the Lord said to Moses. Verse 12. When you take a census of the Israelites to count them, each one must pay the Lord a ransom for his life at the time he is counted. Then no plague will come on them when you number them. Verse 13. Each one who crosses over to those already counted is to give a half shekel, according to the sanctuary shekel, which weigh 20 gerahs. This half shekel is an offering to the Lord. Verse 14. All who cross over, those 20 years old or more, are to give an offering to the Lord. Verse 15. The rich are not to give more than a half shekels, and the poor are not to give less when you make the offering to the Lord, to atone for your lives. Verse 16. Receive the atonement money from the Israelites and use it for the service of the tent of meeting. It will be a memorial for the Israelites before the Lord, making atonement for your lives. Verse 17. Then the Lord said to Moses. Verse 18. Make a bronze basin with its bronze stand for washing. Place it between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water in it. Verse 19. Aaron and his sons are to wash their hands and feet with water from it. Verse 20. Whenever they enter the tent of meeting, they shall wash with water so that they will not die. Also, when they approach the altar to minister by presenting a food offering to the Lord. Verse 21. They shall wash their hands and feet so that they will not die. This is to be a lasting ordinance for Aaron and his descendants for the generations to come. Verse 22. Then the Lord said to Moses. Verse 23. Take the following fine spices, 500 shekels of liquid myrrh, half as much, that is 250 shekels, of fragrant cinnamon, 250 shekels of fragrant calamos. Verse 24. 500 shekels of cassia, all according to the sanctuary shekel, and a hin of olive oil. Verse 25. Make this into a sacred anointing oil, a fragrant blend, the work of a perfumer. It will be the sacred anointing oil. Verse 26. Then use it to anoint the tent of meeting, the ark of the covenant law. Verse 27. The table and all its articles, the lampstand and its accessories, the altar of incense. Verse 28. The altar of burnt offering and all its utensils, and the basins with its stand. Verse 29. You shall consecrate them so they will be most holy, and whatever touches them will be holy. Verse 30. Anoint Aaron and his sons and consecrate them so they may serve me as a priest. Verse 31. Say to the Israelites, this is to be my sacred anointing oil for the generations to come. Verse 32. Do not pour it on anyone else's body and do not make any other oil using the same formula. It is sacred and you are to consider it sacred. Verse 33. Whoever makes perfume like it and puts it on anyone other than a priest must be cut off from their people. Verse 34. Then the Lord said to Moses, take fragrant spices, gum resin, onycha and galbanum, and pure frankincense, all in equal amounts. Verse 35, and make a fragrant blend of incense, the work of a perfumer. It is to be salted and pure and sacred. Verse 36, grind some of it to powder and place it in front of the ark of the covenant law in the tent of meeting, where I will meet with you. It shall be most holy to you. Verse 37, do not make any incense with this formula for yourselves. Consider it holy to the Lord. Verse 38, whoever makes incense like it to enjoy its fragrance must be cut off from their people.